Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My name is Chris Pastrana, and today I'm here with Desiree Frasier from Desired Care Chiropractic. Now, before we get started, I'm going to take a quick moment to talk about the app that we have for the business. So I make it really easy for people to check out the NH Business Show. And to do that, for yourselves, head over to nhbusinessshow.com/Cardtapp. Now, what's great about this app is it's very, very simple, very self-intuitive. And you literally just a couple buttons, and you can share with everyone you know the business. Now, I personally do this quite a bit whenever I meet businesses because I want people reaching out and coming onto the show. It's free. There's no reason not to come on the show to talk to everyone about what you do and show everyone what you know. So, if you know anyone and you really love them, friends, family, whatever, just business you like, and you want them to get the recognition they deserve, send them my app, have them register to come on the show, and we get them in here as a guest so I can talk to them about what they do. And nhbusinessshow.com/Cardtapp, and I'll see you guys later on. So welcome to the show, Desiree.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about you and the business and like what you do, how, start from there.
All right, so I've been in business for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I started in January of 2015 after graduating from chiropractic school in that previous November. And it's just been a lot of fun. I now have a puppy with me, and it just adds a level of entertainment.
Yeah, I bet. So what's the puppy's name?
Benelli.
Okay. Just wanted to put that on there because everyone...
Shout out to the puppy.
She's going to be very animated through this entire thing. So.
I have a feeling she will be.
Yeah. Let's talk about you. What kind of got you into chiropractic?
So actually I started out as an elementary education. So I was going to be a teacher.
Okay.
And it was just the worst idea I could have ever come up with because I loved working one-on-one with kids and getting that aha moment. And once I got into a classroom, it was chaos. I was so stressed out all the time, and I couldn't do it anymore. And so I just decided to get a job because I needed to start paying student loans. Mm-hmm. I worked at a vitamin company, and at the vitamin company, we would have chiropractors and naturopaths on staff, and I became friends with the chiropractor. And one day he was at lunch with me, and he just said, have you ever thought about being a chiropractor? You crack backs for a living. Like, no, that's not something I ever would have thought to do. And he was like, well, let me show you what I do. So he brought in a couple case studies that he was working on with some patients, and it was just pretty cool to see. And he finally, we were hanging out, and I think I was watching his son that day because his wife had gone out, and he'd come home from dinner. He's like, so have you ever been adjusted by a chiropractor? Nope, can't say that I have. Well, come to my basement.
Well, that's a good way to start.
That sounds safe.
Yeah.
But he had everything set up in his basement. He had a table and everything. So I went downstairs and I got adjusted for the first time, and I was sold.
Yeah.
And I researched chiropractic schools. I saw the one that he had gone to and decided in September of 2010 that I wanted to be a chiropractor. And November of that year, I went to check out the school in Minnesota, and I started my prereqs that following January and started chiropractic school the following September. And I've been in love with it ever since.
That's really good. So was there a moment when you were like, yep, this is it. Like, this is what I'm doing it.
It was when I was in school.
Really?
It was my first couple adjustments. It was a little scary. And then after that, I saw somebody, just their face changed. And it was like, all right, this is awesome.
Yeah. So you could almost still have that aha moment, just not with children, just like adults.
I think I get them more frequently than I would have gotten them with children.
Yeah.
Just people walk in so much pain, and then they walk out feeling so much better.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing anything else.
That's really cool. And switch my camera there. But that's really cool because, I was a patient of yours too, and it helps a lot. And so I wanted to have you on the show because it's entertaining, to say the least. And it's an interesting experience, and it's helped me, so I'm sure it helps other people.
Yeah. And honestly, it's so funny when you're a bigger guy, and when I get the bigger guys walk into my clinic and they just kind of give me the once over, like, what are you gonna do to me? And I get them on the table and throw them around like rag dolls.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize it doesn't take much once you change the angles a little bit that you can do a lot of damage even with little hands.
I wouldn't say damage.
Well, that's not what I mean, but it doesn't take much to impact the human body.
Right.
So if you know what you're doing, then it's pretty easy to
Yep.
do whatever.
Definitely.
Cool. So this is interesting. So I know a little bit about you now.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about the business. So let's go a little bit into chiropractic medicine in itself, if you know a little bit about the history, because I think that would be interesting. Because a lot of people don't. I was watching an interview online one day, and they started talking about chiropractors, and it's actually a little controversial.
Oh, it's
across
super
the time.
controversial.
So, like, it'd be kind of cool to talk a little bit about the history of what it is and all that. So,
well, there are different types of chiropractors out there.
Yeah.
There are the more philosophy-based chiropractors, which have their own ideas and ways of going about things. I'm personally not one of those. Their idea is, what's within the body will heal the body, and if I give you 2 adjustments, then it's going to do what it's supposed to do. I take a different approach. I like more of the science-based, and I want to know why what I'm doing is what I'm doing, and it's more evidence-based.
yeah,
So, not that there's anything wrong with the philosophy-based. I would never down anybody for the way they want to practice. As long as they're helping people, go for it.
yeah,
But I don't have that idea of the philosophy behind it all. Because B.J. Palmer and D.D. Palmer are the 2 founding fathers. D.D. Palmer and B.J. D.D. Palmer is the father. B.J. was his son.
okay,
And they were more philosophy-based chiropractors.
yeah,
And actually the first adjustment that was ever on record, D.D. Palmer helped, I can't remember the guy's name, but he helped a guy that lost his hearing. And after one adjustment, got his hearing back. So that's kind of where they think chiropractic started.
Yeah.
Honestly, it probably started back with the Egyptians.
yeah,
And just never actually had a name for it.
yeah,
So since then, I mean, chiropractic has been more, my back hurts, my neck hurts, and people think those 2 realms with chiropractic. Other people look at it and they're like, I can pretty much cure anything with chiropractic. I fall between the 2. I feel like your body, when you adjust somebody, is going to react to the adjustment. And your nervous system, everything in your nerves, everything in your body is connected to your nervous system. So people that are having digestive issues, I've actually helped people that have had digestive issues, not with the intent to do so,
yeah,
but it was more of a happy side effect. So I'm a firm believer that chiropractic can help people with various things, but I don't go into it with that. I go into it with I want to get you out of pain, I want to get you feeling better, and then you can start doing things to help yourself.
yeah.
So.
Okay, good. Because I've heard some of the stories of the founders too, and that's where a lot of the controversy comes from. They're like, well, readjusting the body like that, like, how can that do this? And I get that to an extent, and it's really funny to listen to it. But I also understand the whole, it's one body, it's one system. So if something's out of whack, like, it can really impact other parts of your body.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of fun.
It is.
Cool.
It's a very cool, your body is very cool. And
Yeah.
I never really was aware of my body until I went to chiropractic school. And, something hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Immediately go to WebMD and you have finger cancer. That's just what's going to happen. But now that I'm more aware of things, when somebody tells me I'm in the worst pain of my life and I can't believe it, usually I can find it pretty quickly, and it's more often than not just a muscle.
Yeah.
And once you push on one trigger point, then that pain goes away, and so does all the other pain in your body. It's just strange. And that's what I focus on mostly, are trigger points after adjustments.
Cool. So trigger points. That's a good one I kind of jump into.
Yeah. So trigger points. They're an area in your body that have pain substance that collect within the muscle. And when they collect, your body is sending you a sign of, hey, we're in pain, there's something wrong, there's damage here, we need to fix it. And that's why people feel pain. And so once I break up the trigger point with an instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization, say that 10 times fast, it really helps to resolve the whole area. And a lot of times, though, there will be trigger points, and primary and secondary trigger points. So people will feel the secondary trigger points more so than the primary. But if you don't get rid of the primary, then the secondary will keep coming back.
Yeah.
So I can break up that trigger point, that secondary trigger point, every single week, and you're still going to get that secondary trigger point coming back.
Yeah. So how can you kind of tell when you have a trigger point?
A lot of times it's that muscle pain that you're feeling, and those knots that people have. People are always saying, I have a knot in my neck, or I have a knot in my back. There usually is a trigger point there. And so I adjust people and I get those joints moving and those muscles moving the way they're supposed to, and then I go in and break up the trigger point. I would not say that it is a good substitute for massage, but it's good for what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's very focused, very pinpoint of pain relief.
Okay.
I always recommend people go see massage therapists though to get everything worked out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I like massages too. Those are pretty good. And Thai massages are awesome. And so
I get massaged all the time too, and I love it. And it really helps to keep things moving. So.
Yeah. So I guess again, moving toward the concept of like one body, one system, and you have to address all the little issues, and you know. Who did I get into? I got this into this with I have an esthetician friend, and we were talking about taking care of the skin, and how doing that can help a lot of other parts of your body too.
Yeah.
And how people kind of look at it as like, oh, this is just kind of like an extra thing we do for fun, when actually it's kind of more mandatory than that, because you should be addressing these things.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably an area you probably see this too, as I know I was in the same situation when I first came here. When I was like, yeah, I'm in a ton of pain and I'm finally sick of it. And you know, it gets worked through pretty quickly.
Right.
And you're like, oh, you should have done this sooner.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I see most often. It's like, well, you know, I've been afraid of chiropractors, or I've heard really bad things about chiropractors. Well, you have a bad experience with a mechanic. Are you going to stop going to see mechanics? Are you just going to let your car die?
Maybe.
I mean, that's really an unfortunate way to look at it.
Yeah.
There are like I said, so many different types of chiropractors out there, and they all do different things. And if you see one that you don't like, or you don't like the way that they work, try somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't run the mill, as a lot of my patients tell me.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when I go to a chiropractor and I feel like I'm a number. I get put on the table and there's 6 other people on the table, on different tables next to me.
Yeah.
And I give my patients usually about a half hour of my time and energy and effort, because I feel that it's that important. When you're seeing someone for 5 minutes, you're not getting to know them. You're not knowing their routines. You're not knowing the activities that they're doing outside. Yeah. And until you know that, you can't really help them. I mean, I don't see my patients every week or twice a week. I see a lot of them a couple times in the beginning, and then space it out as much as I can. Because I have a life, they have a life, and I know how difficult it is to try to make time for ourselves. And if I can get somebody feeling better in that half hour, and that's a world of difference to them. Yeah.
So that's actually a really good segue into talking about your business a little bit more. Because each chiropractic place that I've seen so far, at least, they all run a little differently, and you guys are different as well. So let's talk a little bit about how you kind of do things here.
So initial visits, I usually do about an hour with my patients. So get to really know the history, get to know why they're here, how they found me, how their chiropractic experiences have been in the past, and get into what's bothering them. And a lot of times they'll come in and say, my neck hurts. Okay, we'll work on your neck. After I work on the neck, my shoulder's been bothering me, my knees hurt, I've had this awful plantar fasciitis. Like, things start developing and opening up. Yeah. So I usually see patients once, and then I'll see them a week later, just to see what's popped up since, if anything's changed, if anything's different. And when I do that, they start to see, okay, that neck pain doesn't bother me so much anymore. Now it's my low back, or now it's my knees. Well, they were always bothering you. It wasn't anything that I did that caused it to bother you. Yeah. You were so focused on your knee, or so focused on your neck, that your knee just wasn't a priority.
Yeah, and didn't feel as painful.
So I always joke, my neck hurts. Well, let me kick you in the shin so your neck won't hurt anymore. But
good puppy.
She's such a ham sometimes. But that's what I like to do. So after that, I spend about a half hour with my patients in their follow-up visits. And I don't always spend the whole half hour with them. Some people, they want to come in, get adjusted, and leave. Others, they need to come in, and sometimes they need to talk, because I truly believe that chiropractic is, your pain is coming from one of three areas or three of three areas, and it's physical, emotional, and chemical. So what you're putting in your body is the chemical, what you have going on. So are you taking pain medication? Are you just eating garbage? I mean, do you go to McDonald's for every single meal of your day? You're going to have some pain and inflammation.
Yeah.
Hello. The physical, maybe you were shoveling, like the snow we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe you had to shovel and you were just, throwing your body way off. And then the emotional, a lot of times people will come in and, they'll be having some issues at home. Their daughter is driving them crazy because she's dating this guy who's not good for her, and you're feeling all that pain because your emotions are off and out of whack. So a lot of times my patients will come in and they'll start talking and tell me about their pain, and then the next visit they open up a little bit more, and I'm starting to find out what's going on at home, and they'll be laying on the table and just like burst into tears.
Yeah.
But because they haven't been able to release that energy, and they haven't been able to release that pain in any other scene. So when they come into me, they get to do that.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see, once you break that layer down, how much relief they get afterwards.
Yeah. And it's kind of, we're talking again, keep coming back to this, one body thing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of your body can be impacted, again, not just physically, just all these other areas of your body and all the other stresses can really hurt.
Yeah.
So that's pretty, I like that.
It is. The world around you and the world within your body are just, it's amazing how they are all intertwined.
Yeah.
So what's happening at home could be causing you that neck pain, and it's not even a physical thing. Maybe you didn't do anything to your body, and it was just the stress of everything that's going on at home. And once you were able to release that, and I've always been a person that people can tell things to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what vibe I'm giving off, but it's always been that way since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
People tell me things that they're like, I've never actually said that to anybody before. Okay, well, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's pretty cool when people come in and they tell me things that they've never told anyone else before.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling that they have so much confidence in me that they don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so cool. So I'm gonna do something I usually do when I talk about little tips for either new chiropractors or people similar industries.
Yeah.
So someone just gets out of school and they're like, well, what's their first step? What should they be looking at? Should they be starting their own practice or looking to join someone else's? What kind of decisions do you have to make early on?
So this was something. Stop. Relax. This was something for me. I knew I had to start my own practice. I graduated November 2014 and started the practice January 2015. So, hey, chill. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's the best route for everybody, but for me it was. There were some chiropractors around here. They were doing some decent business, but I don't think enough to bring somebody else on.
Yeah.
The area that I was in made sense to start my own. I went to school in Minnesota. Had I stayed there, I had 2 job offers before I left, and I would have started working in a practice with the clinic that I actually interned at.
Yeah.
I would have worked there every day. Loved it, but I wanted to come home. So, and in doing so, I had to start my own practice. You need to just lie down.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was, if you're a chiropractor and you have a lot of ambition, start your own, go for it. But if you maybe need that extra time to really refine your skills, I'd maybe go in practice with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be good too, kind of work with someone who's been in the business for a while, learn from them, learn what they do, because you always get that, you go to school and what happens in the actual industry are a little different. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure how similar that is to chiropractic myself, but it's probably accurate.
Yeah. I did an internship in Costa Rica for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And when I was in Costa Rica, I really got to hone my skills and work and do my own thing. We had a supervising doc who just kind of was helping, but she wasn't overbearing. And in some internships, I feel like the chiropractor doesn't let you do much, and you just are there to watch.
Yeah.
I was doing everything. We saw over 800 patient visits in 3 weeks between 3 of us.
No, it's a lot of practice.
We got a lot of practice, and that is what made me feel comfortable enough to start my own.
Yeah.
I think had I not done that, I would have tried harder to maybe start my own, or
Yeah,
maybe work
work
with
with
somebody
someone
else.
Yeah. So I guess picking who you want an internship with, or like any tips for how to find a good practice that maybe you want to learn from them, or maybe the way they teach is more suitable for you?
Most good chiropractors are very willing to let you shadow them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I shadowed as many docs as I could. I met with as many docs as I could, and it really made a difference. I could see what I liked, what I didn't like, how they practiced, how things are different than from one to the other, and it really made a difference for me. I worked with five women in Minnesota. There was a 5-woman chiropractic practice, straight women. It was great. I got to learn a lot from them, and if I had a practice like that here, I probably would have gone into it. There were other male chiropractors that I just didn't vibe well with.
Mm-hmm.
Not for any reason, it's just it wasn't the right setting for me.
Yeah.
And it is, if you go into a practice and you immediately feel comfortable, you probably belong there. If you go in and you're, not quite sure, you don't like the way they're doing things, just walk away. Because you're not going to be happy, and they're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. So, yeah, a little shorter than my other ones, but I think we covered a lot, and, the dog was definitely entertaining.
Oh, she's entertaining for sure.
Yeah. So cool.
She's probably eating something right now.
Probably. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Them and children. Kids are the same as dogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, the same thing. So if you can take care of a puppy, you can take care of a baby. At least until they're like 5.
All right, then I'm all set.
Yeah, you're good. So thank you for coming on the show today. It's been a lot of fun. And
thank you for having me.
I hope, guys keep doing really well.
I hope so too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Have fun. And before we head out, I want to talk a little bit about Patreon. So if you don't know what Patreon is, it is it's a site that helps creators like myself create revenue when we often don't charge for our services. Because I don't charge guests to come on the show. I don't want them to. I want them to come on the show regardless of how big or small the company is. But because of that, we often have revenue issues that we we work through. But if you want to support us, head over to nhbusinessshow.com/Patreon, and over there you will see the link to help us out. And there's not a whole lot of options over there, so it's not like I'm asking for thousands and thousands of dollars. You can get started for even $1 a month. Like you can see my little business cards right here in the background. These are supporters I have for the show. They give $1 a month, and they get to be on every show. And I kind of showcase them a little bit on Facebook as well, for really thanking them for supporting the New Hampshire Business Show and the dream I have here. And like I said, it's $1. It's $1 a month. So I waste way more than that every month on really dumb things. So if you want to help out the show and you support what we do, take a moment, head over and help support us so we can keep doing what we do. So everyone have a great day, and be good.